For event number 2 on the 2023 tour, the NXL is heading to Texas, where the battle between the best paintball teams in the world is going down in Round Rock, outside of Austin. Last year we saw Tampa Bay Damage rise again and break their decade-long win drought to make history with the win over Edmonton Impact in a triple one-on-one overtime. Can Damage summon the spirit and skill needed for 2 in a row, or will a new squad hoist the Texas trophy? Tune in to gosports.com April 28th through the 30th for another epic Lone Star State showdown.
Dynasty, let's go, boys!
For the second event of 2022, the NXL headed to Texas for the Lone Star Open. This event was a minor, meaning attendance was not mandatory for the pro teams, but 15 of them still showed up in the quest to put a win on the board early in the season and prove to everyone they were a contender for the series title.
Right there, Diesel! Right there, Diesel! Right there, baby!
There was a mysterious absence in the list of attending teams. The Latin Saints, even after their big second-place finish at the first event, decided not to make the trip, which begged the question, with a war chest as big as the Saints supposedly had, why would they not attend this event?
Hey, don't forget, company, all right?
Also, the NXL threw everyone a curveball, as the layout featured a snake on both sides but only on half the field. And since this was a blind layout released the day before the event, no one had been able to train for this unconventional situation. Strategy and tactics would evolve in real time.
Learn from your fucking mistakes and come on, man. Let's go.
And again, everyone was looking towards San Diego Dynasty, wondering if they could keep up their uncanny ability to put wins on the board. Dynasty had won 3 major tournaments and 21 games in a row. They had not lost a game in the NXL competitions for 10 months.
We pray for these boys right here. Light them on fire. Help us be victor. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Hey, believe in your brothers. Let's go, boys.
Right now.
Hey,
let's go.
No,
Let's go.
fucking
Let's
flash.
go.
Hey,
It's Sunday.
Let's
It's
go.
Sunday.
Right
Let's
fucking
go.
now. Let's go, motherfuckers. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team squad. Let's go.
This particular blind layout is a little different than we've ever seen, so I like it. As far as us, we have some of the old school, we have some of the new school, and really truly it's just getting us all on the same page. So we've been here for hours talking about this, and everybody has a different idea currently of what we should do or how we're going to do it. We're focusing on, okay, if we get into these situations, how can we work on it? And I think you're going to see a lot of the top teams, the teams that have been around doing that, and I think you're going to see some of the newer teams just throwing Hail Marys out here. And it's a field you can throw Hail Marys on, right?
No, sir. No, sir. Hey, get up, stay up, right, damn it? Let's go. Keith Brown. Enough, man. This isn't hard. You don't have to do anything special. Just don't do anything dumb.
Look at the field. They are coming. Pass the top.
Diesel!
For up-and-coming teams in the Pro Division, every event is another chance in the battle for relevance. It's a fight to make your opponents respect your very existence and to see your organization as an actual threat. There were a few new Sunday contenders in Texas. Energy Elite and the New Orleans Hurricanes both went 3-1 to secure their spot. Fate, however, did not favor some of the favorites. Dynasty and X Factor faltered. Baltimore Rebel lost heartbreakers, and they didn't move on. And though Level looked like a top contender in Florida, things were much different here on this blind layout.
A couple of interesting teams that got knocked out. Level came after a really good show in last event. They struggled a little bit this event. Hope to see them in the finals in the future. See them do pretty well. Dynasty finally lost their win streak. They had a huge win streak going into this thing, and they finally got cracked. So we'll look forward to seeing them in the future too.
Fuck.
Right out of the gate, the unconventional layout had its fair share of top-end casualties. Day one was a disaster for Dynasty, as they lost both their games to X Factor and Infamous. They had a negative 9-point spread, and they needed to win both games big on Saturday to have any chance to move forward.
The blind layout events, the minors this year in the Dynasty camp weren't taken very seriously. I hate to say it that way, and we should have taken it seriously because we got beat up. In order to win a paintball tournament, in order to win anything, you need an immense amount of focus. You could have all the talent, you could have all the best players, you could have everything, but if you're not incredibly focused, tuned in, ready to play, then you're not going to win that event. We didn't practice before the first Dallas event. We didn't have a practice the weekend before. We hadn't been together since the Orlando event, and we decided to show up and just try our luck.
They did everything they could on Saturday after the day one disaster to move on, winning both their games, including the last one against Damage. Damage had also lost too, but since both their losses were only by a point, they would skate into the quarters. Dynasty's event was done, and they missed Sunday for the first time since Texas 2017.
So, for us, we got out of the bracket of death. We had multiple close games. We lost 2 games with leads, actually, like pretty good leads, 3-point leads. So going into Sunday, we knew we got out of the bracket of death, like everything was going great for us. Our teamwork was great. We were actually rolling 2 lines. Every single player was playing, which is like not heard of in professional paintball. Usually you play your starting 7, and then you've got guys on the bench ready to rotate in if there's injuries or something happens. But we played every single person, and everyone was just bonding and playing amazing.
After that first event, I decided that we had to play the other guys, period. They're not good enough to play, they shouldn't be on the roster. And that's it. There's really no in between to it. So the mentality I had was I'm gonna go into that event and I'm gonna play 2 lines. If shit doesn't work, I'll cut it down to a hybrid line, but I really wanna play 2 lines.
We immediately felt like it was our event to win. We truly feel that, Tampa Bay Damage is one of those teams that learns the field very fast. We know we have the amazing gun skills. Our teamwork is very fluent, but we've always struggled with just studying a layout. And I think we overthink it in the practices. So, going into the second event with the blind layout, we thought we already had the upper hand.
The teams who proved themselves to be contenders by quickly mastering this strange layout would move on directly to the quarterfinals on Sunday, as there was no wildcard round at this event, so only the top 8 advanced.
Level kind of tapped out on this yesterday because we were constantly going at them. You can hear the commentators, even Greenspan's going, why are they still attacking?
Because we know better than you.
Why are they still attacking? Because we were going to fucking win now. That is the King's way. That's how we're going to fucking play, right? Super proud of how we came out. We're not flat anymore coming out, right, guys?
Let's
we're
fucking go.
Angry, right? Listen, the next match is the biggest fucking match.
The biggest match.
Houston Heat! Yeah, Chad! Yeah! Houston Heat! Houston Heat!
Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots from my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself in check. They don't hear me, they don't hear me though. Life been going around
3 times before that ref looked at him. And he got shot on the outside. Not checking it. They're not checking it.
Houston Heat has been a pillar of professional consistency since their inception 10 years ago, but they do like to drop games early and make it interesting. On Saturday, Houston Heat ran into troubles against New York Extreme, losing by 3, and then prevailed in a high-scoring shootout against Columbus Level. It was a one-point match that ended Level's event, and tuned up Heat for a rematch against the ML Kings in the quarterfinals.
They really like pushing that snake.
I think the ML Kings have been playing really good lately. They have a lot of younger, smaller guys that are actually, all buying in, right? And it definitely shows when everyone buys into the same game plan and just goes for it, man. And they put their time in, and they have a lot of young killers in that team that are actually coming into their own, I think. And with Charlie behind them and then, a lot of their younger players, I think they've been playing really well and just going for it, man. And it's been showing. They're actually going for these bigger games and going after teams.
And on the breakout, 3 guns up, 2 runners, and it's going to be Ryan Moorhead going that inside route.
The beginning of the Heat ML Kings rematch in the quarterfinals was all Heat. They shot the ML Kings trying to push up the Snake side 4 points in a row, shutting down their most potent offense. And they made very few mistakes themselves to quickly run up the score.
Stay woke, please don't get caught slick. End up showing what you read. Know your worth and don't sell cheap. The ghost is inside of me. Take it out of me. No matter where I've been, not where I'm meant to be. I be shining purple.
It was 5-0, and the ML Kings were only 1 point away from a Mercy Rule blowout loss. But there were still 8 minutes and 36 seconds left on the clock. But with the Kings on the ropes, Heat received a major penalty and a crack opened. The ML Kings refused to go quietly, and they fought back until it was a 1-point match with just 1 minute and 39 seconds to go.
Kyle Berry doing a great job filling up. Here comes Ronnie Dizon.
Kyle Berry played really well.
A minor penalty closed the door, and Heat took a tough win, advancing to meet longtime arch nemesis, Edmonton Impact.
So that is going to do it. Big congratulations to both Houston Heat and Edmonton Impact, who will be playing against each other in the semifinals.
Hey, everybody contribute, baby. Let's go. All right, boys, we're back in. Let's go. Let's fight. Hey, we're up, boys. Fucking fight. You got a rag.
Energy Elite also showed vast improvement, playing some of the best paintball we'd ever seen them play, led by Caleb Abel's relentless attack in the Snake, beating the Ironman in the first game and barely losing a 1-point match to Impact. They then upset Revo by the Mercy Rule, and they took down Aftermath by 2 on Saturday, going 3-1 and punching their ticket to their second Sunday appearance ever. For any team to truly be in the hunt for a win, you need lethal contributions from the whole roster. And that's exactly what Energy Elite was getting from Kyle and Robert Bowen, Austin Buffton, Jason Dennis, Zach Geiger, Travis Trawick, and Elliot Weaver.
Yeah, Aftermath's looking pretty good. I mean, the game against them was a tough game. It was a good match. They played pretty good in the prelims. They struggled a little bit, and so we got to keep playing on their struggles and just keep hammering it on them. Keep bringing the heat, get ahead early, and they like to play a little slower game. So if we can get a lead up front, and just keep breathing, keep them on their toes.
Energy Elite here in the green, starting on the red side of the field. And two bodies, Kim blocking, 3 bodies coming off for Aftermath. Here's Caleb Abel's going on running a kill racket right now. Bottom side goes through the Doritos. They're a high volume, high pace game. Yep. They like to run at you. They want to push the issue.
Oh, the Energy player is getting pulled. He checked himself on the break. He got bounced on the break, but it looks like one broke too. So 2 Energy players taking a walk.
After 2 points, the game was tied. But then Energy continued to stack up point after point. The points were close, but Energy Elite's full field attack was on display. And they took a 5-1 lead with just 2:24 left in the match.
And there he goes. Caleb does just that. And he gets all the way through, and he shoots Kim. So Barrett came off that lane, and then Caleb just timed it perfect.
What a ballsy move, man.
Oh, Frank Tomaso getting flipped out of that spot. Here comes Mike Mesa. Mike Mesa trying to make a big move up that 50. And then here comes a little damage control done by Caleb Abel again. Oh, and then here comes Hallberg, after playing every single spot, ends up getting bunkered out by Weaver. And Energy Elite going to put another point on the board. So back to the wall here, not looking good for Aftermath.
Aftermath scored 2 to make it look better on the scoreboard, but the lead would hold easily, and Energy Elite would advance to their very first semifinals appearance ever.
So Aftermath's going to win this. It's going to be a 3-point game with a little bit over a minute left.
So here goes
Aftermath right in the middle, dropping too early, Matty.
Yeah, they send Barrett all the way up the center, and he runs through. Of course, I mean, what are you going to do? Castro, same thing. But they're going to score. They're going to get one.
Yeah, they're going to get one.
They got a chance.
Guy in the Utah, Alex Ross, home shooting.
You gotta go. Go to the fucking Dorito, bro. Come on.
I've won a lot of paintball events, but you know, having that kind of pressure, there was a lot of pressure.
The NXL Texas Lone Star Open is the biggest professional paintball showdown west of the Mississippi. In 2022, Tampa Bay Damage ended their decade-long drought with an epic win over Edmonton Impact in one of the closest games the sport has ever seen.
So in that moment, I was ready to go. Like, I wanted the opportunity to win the tournament for all of us, for the team.
Edmonton Impact's going to win this game here. I think they have enough bodies. Is Jacob Edwards going to be able to hold them off?
Jason's the type of guy where he's like, no matter what, I'm going down with the ship, dude.
We have a no point. Going to be going to one-on-one potentially.
One-on-one.
Watch how it all went down and get an inside look into the top teams during the most recent episode of Defining Moments, only on gosports.com.
I hadn't done it in so long, and this is my team, you know what I mean? So it meant a lot, dude. It meant a lot just to see that boy hit that shot, dude. That was crazy.
Welcome to the most important day of this tournament, the 2023 NXL Lone Star Major. We're here in Round Rock, Texas, just a little north of Austin. I'm Matty Marshall with Rich Telford, and man, the wild card round is going to be absolutely nasty. Why? Because the top 3 teams in the world, if they want to win this tournament, Rich, they're going to have to win 4 games today. It's going to start in just a couple minutes. Dynasty versus Damage, Edmonton Impact. Also, Damage versus Impact, and Dynasty versus the ML Kings. So the top 3 teams, Dynasty sitting at number 1 here in the pits right now as they take the field for point number 1. 7 of the past 13 events have been won by San Diego Dynasty. We've never seen a professional paintball this competitive before, and the fact that they have won that much, that frequently, it just speaks to how legendary this team is. But they find themselves in a tough position. They're playing a scrappy ML Kings squad. Rich, what do you think about this matchup?
I think it's going to be amazing to watch. I think the thing to focus on this morning is that one of the best teams in the world, that means they've got the best players, they've got all the money and all the opportunity, are going home Sunday morning, no matter what. At least 1, maybe 2 of the top teams in the world are going home. And it just shows you how hard it is to do what we do, how hard it is to get to Sunday, to not be in the wild card bracket on a Sunday, and have a chance for your team to go forward. The fact that either Damage or Impact is going to go home here and not be in the quarters or the semis is mind-blowing.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Damage versus Impact also in this set, sitting at 2 and 3 overall. Tampa Bay Damage with the win a year ago in Texas, and then 2 second-place finishes. They finished second at the last event against Dynasty, and then second against Dynasty again at the World Cup. And so Tampa Bay Damage versus Edmonton Impact, who is it going to be? And then Edmonton Impact, I mean, man, even though they've been playing some roster roulette, losing last year and this year, both Alex Goldman and Justin Rabikoff, but they get Dalton. Dalton actually has a bit of an injury to his shoulder. It's more of his elbow. He doesn't really exactly know. He's going to play on it, but his elbow is swollen up. Looks like somebody embedded a tennis ball in his skin.
So he has gotten to the age where stuff just stops working. You don't really know why or how. Great. Yeah. Welcome to the club, D.
Yeah, so, but he's just going to play through it.
Of course he is.
And then, and so Impact, 3rd overall, 3rd at the first event, and they won 2 events in a row last year towards the end of the season. So, yeah, is it going to be Damage going home, San Diego Dynasty? If they get beat by the ML Kings, Edmonton Impact here, if they get taken down by Damage, we don't know. Jumping into point number 1, Tampa Bay Damage starting from the blue side, taking a little bit more ground, but they are going to be losing their first body as Chris Horn takes the walk. So it's 5 on 4, 5 on 4, 4 on 4 now as Brandon Cornell getting shot from that back center, Rich.
Yeah, no excuse ever getting shot out of the back center. I mean, I know it happens, but you got to hide better than that. 4 on 4. Impact first team out onto the Dorito side, into the Dorito 1 mat.
Dalton playing with that injury again. Not sure what it is. He's pretty sure it's not a ligament, or his arm probably wouldn't be working, but maybe a muscle tear. I don't know. Like I said, though, man, I mean, it literally looks like there's a tennis ball stuck in his elbow.
Yeah, it might be a bursa sac. I wish you would have showed it to me. I could have looked at it a little bit. But yeah, it might be a bursa sac and flame there. There's a sack there that lubricates your elbow, and if you inflame it, it does swell up quite a bit.
Well, he's made his way very quickly
Yeah, it's
into
not slowing him down
D3 at all. Yeah, he looks really good over there. He was the World Cup MVP for San Diego Dynasty. Now it looks like JC is going to take some ground. Amir at the move.
Yeah, hard bounce going in there for JC.
Yeah, so Damage has already been in that bunker for a little bit. But JC slides in there. So 4-on-4 here. Damage versus Impact.
And this might be the first and last point of this game, Matt.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see things potentially slow down, as we always do on Sunday.
Well, and it didn't slow down as much as I thought it was going to yesterday, because I think everyone hasn't figured out how to play the field yet. But with 4 really good players in really good positions, and both of these guys are kind of a defensive-oriented team, I don't look at these guys to press offensively unless they absolutely have to.
JC now moves into Snake 1. He's going to get some help, as Impact also getting into the wedge. I believe Darula. Good communication. Of course, you're going to see elite level communication and skills out here, as this is the number 2 and number 3 team in the league. 20 pro teams did battle through the prelims, but only 10 moved on.
Damage now into Snake 1, Matt.
So Damage mirrors up that move. Both these teams into Snake 1. It's also going to be a little hot today, probably mid-80s.
Yeah, 85 was the last thing I saw. Rainey's likes to sit back in that spot can, Matty. Much like Tyler Harmon, they don't like to release into that wing. I think they like to be able to stand on their feet.
Damage making a move.
See both sides.
Yeah, with Edwards. Jacob Edwards getting over into D1.
Yep. That's what he has to do. Now Damage has all the spots that they need to control the whole field. Nobody can make a move on the Snake guy or the Drew side. They can't go up the center without one of their spots seeing it. So Damage can play the whole game from here if they choose to. They can certainly switch and play offense.
Impact
but if they want to stay here, they can.
Impact Rich calling up into the 50-yard line here on your screen with Justin Cornell, and he's talking back to Darula. Dalton still in D3. He's got there early on in this point, and it still is 4-on-4. So who's going to be the first to drop a gunfight? And which team's going to get this early advantage in point number 1? And Rich, I absolutely agree with you. We're probably going to see a series of relatively low-scoring games out here. Maybe some 2-3, 2-4 matches.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting. I like Impact JC going up to that 50 Snake, and it's a great bunker if the other team is engaging with you, right? Like if you get there and you have someone to shoot at. If you get to the 50 and you have no one to shoot at, you're just that much closer for them to run you down, and you're just kind of waiting.
Well, Lackey just did a little backfill tactical retreat into the insert bunker here. Rainey Stanzik is behind him at that spot bunker. Spot Insurance, helping out the NXL players here.
I know the president of that company.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy, actually.
Yeah,
I met him yesterday. But yeah, that's it. It's just a tough spot, man.
Literally.
Literally. That can is rough. So
you can see when people are standing back off of it, angled out, that it's a tough bunker to play.
And you notice that Impact isn't there, right? So their intention was to get up the field quick. They sent Dalton with a fast secondary move into D3. JC on a secondary outside. He's reached, and then now he's at the 50. So, I mean, they just don't want to be in those back bunkers.
Yeah. Well, and Rainey and Tyler are really the only players that are staying in that can for a long time. They see something different than all the other teams, or their style is different than all the other teams. Everybody else seems to agree that the wedge on the Snake side is the spot you want to be at to block the Snake 1, the 50 Snake. And even better than that is that brick on the 50, because you can catch the guy crawling around Snake 2. We saw that yesterday a few times. Did you go out last night? Did you rage? Did you party? Talk to me, bub.
That's a hard no, bro. Hard no. I did go eat some delicious. I had a delicious steak last night.
Did you? Nice.
And then try to get some sleep, because we're gonna have a long day of paintball today.
Hopefully not quite as long as yesterday. That was challenging.
Yeah, so similar situation here. No one's made any moves in the past minute or so. Paint probably going to start to be an issue a little bit. We're at the 10-minute, 27-second mark.
As you were saying that, I was just thinking, like, hey, man, paint, like, management's going to be important. Like, how long do you wait to start getting on your trigger on your lanes? If you wait too long, they get through your lanes, then it's a waste of bringing all that paint. But if you get on them too soon, you're halfway through the point, you have no paint. You're like, hey, guys, start tossing pods.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, this layout has massive gaps in it. That you could drive a truck through. So
literally, yeah, that's not a metaphor.
And it's one of those situations, talking about paint, where sometimes you got to carry that extra pod 2 or 3, and a lot of these guys are just going to be they're going to be sitting in spots and shooting lanes, or hoping players will run through. Probably not going to see a ton of that. Impact a little bit more proactive though than Tampa Bay Damage is. Impact now moving up into that 50 up to the 50 brick. So they have Cornell, who's been at this 50 Snake for a while, hunting and probing, and then Darula, I believe, getting into that brick. See our eye in the sky. So the triple stack of players here for Edmonton Impact over on the Snake side, as they have the real estate.
You hear that?
I hear no gun shooting.
Yeah, no one's shooting their gun right now. There's a lot of
what I don't hear.
There's a lot of looking going on. There's an eerie silence on the field.
Well, we saw, I mean, look, this is part of the game, man. You know, sometimes you watch the UFC and dudes are playing rock'em sock'em robots, and other times it's a jiu-jitsu match or a wrestling match, and that's paintball. Sometimes they're running each other down and you see 7-6 games, and sometimes we're going to see 2-1 games. It's just the nature of the beast out here.
It is the nature of the beast, but it's also the nature of competition, right? It's not it doesn't matter how you play the field. You just have to find a way to win, right? And your way to win, Matt, might be different than my way to win, right? So you got to find your thing, I got to find my thing, but it's not about the field. It's not about anything other than just finding a way to win, right?
Ooh, Laval with a couple moves back here, gets back to the spot, can maybe go out and give a little bit of help to Dalton, because Dalton's on an island. You know, with that death of Cornell, it was just Dalton over there in D3, which, you know, when you're on an island and you're a guy like Dalton, yeah, Dalton's an aggressive player, but he also is a smart player, too.
He understands where he's at in the game.
Yeah, so, but it is going to limit your offensive capabilities when it's just you. So Laval's going to go over there and give him some help, because he knows he knows that Derula and Cornell are holding things down on the Snake side. So the position advantage absolutely goes to Impact, but it is still 4-on-4.
Well, I like, you see Damage has all three of their front players in a line there. Dorito 1, Center Tower, Snake 1, all in a line, and then Rainey and the Can behind them. Impact has 2 up on the 50. I think they'd like to get Dalton up one more bunker or up in that 50 over there, and then Nick Laval will be the guy behind him. But Nick Laval's not in as good of a position to help.
Rich, Justin Cornell now past the 50 here on your screen.
Okay.
And he is starting to push the issue here with 7 minutes and 53 seconds left to go. We're in point number 1.
Rainey knows he's there. He just called our Snake.
And it's tough, you know, when you get that call, you know your line's about to start. In a big game like this, we're in the wild card round. A big top team is going home. So, you know, when you don't play that many points, each point becomes that much more precious, that much more potent. And you really need to get out there and try to play that fumble-free, mistake-free paintball. And again, it's died down. No one really shooting their guns, preserving that paint, as they've got to be getting low. I see a lot of empty pods on the ground everywhere out there.
Yeah, they should pick up better. Look at, they're trying to shoot him in the feet underneath that center tower.
Yeah, player for damage is pushed in, tucked in so much to that tower that it is popping the edge, and they're going to get him. They're going to be able to get the shot in on Keith Brown. So now it's a 3-on-4 situation here in favor of Impact. And then here comes the launch from Edwards as he moves up. Jacob going into D4. It looks like untouched as the battle on your screen going down in the Snake with some tense glares in the pits here for Bart Yakimak, owner of Impact.
4-on-3 advantage now for Impact. Impact with 2 players on the D side, 1 on the center 50, 1 on the Snake side. Nick Laval in the D corner for Impact.
Justin Cornell has moved up even closer here to Lackey. So it's Lackey and Stanzik and Edwards as the only players out there for damage to try to save this point. Impact with the 1-body advantage down to 632. That was a beautiful fill out onto the D side, and now Jacob Edwards is hunting. He was the hero and the MVP in the finals against this team. This is a rematch of the finals last year in the wild card round.
Big move from Rainey Stanzik. Oh, he goes forward, but gets caught. He went forward to try to get.
And then Lackey pops the top, and he gets shot out too. So this point, unless something happens on the D side, nope, not going to do it. So Edmonton Impact is going to score this first point. No concession yet for Tampa Bay.
And that was a fast point.
There it goes.
It's hard to keep track of what's going on when the points are that fast.
So Impact with the advantage over damage. But enough time to work with for Tampa Bay to come back. They're in the pits right now. Let's listen in with the Edmonton Impact.
Good fucking shit, JC. Good shit, JC. Don't give me a gun. Hey, I have a question. Hey, early on, when I was in the dark, who was shooting the Snake? I don't know. We think it's the 4 over the top. He's just fucking... Good shit. I wanted you dead.
Hey, good pace, boys. Way to talk it through.
Oh, sorry,
So yeah, good pace.
Hey, whoever grabbed my gun, can you clean the barrel?
So when he's talking about pace, if you look at the way the Impact was making those moves, I mean, you know, they started the game out, they took the positions that they wanted, and then they were the proactive team marching up the field. Jumping into point number 1 here, San Diego Dynasty in the wild card round here against ML Kings. And ML Kings looked pretty dialed in the prelims. Both teams going to be losing a body here.
4-on-4, Matty. Ryan Greenspan moving from the spot can into the Snake insert. 4-on-4 advantage for both teams as Archie takes the walk for Dynasty.
That's a great kill here for the ML Kings. Shoot the former MVP, Archie Montemayor. Of course, pretty much anyone you shoot on Dynasty is going to be a former MVP.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the right lineup, you got 5 MVPs.
Yeah, it's true. But a little better field position right now. So Chris Shear getting the start, new pickup, and what a story he's had for the past couple seasons. Getting the call from Dynasty last year coming over from Revo in the offseason, and he's been playing great for him, man. Helped him win that first event in Florida a couple months ago, and he's now in D3. Another body coming off, and it's LJ Woodley, which was a big pickup for the ML Kings, but they're in a tough spot. They're tucked in the pocket. They've let Dynasty get out wide D side. They're about to let him get in the snake as Greenspan hits the deck and he crawls in. Little reposition for the ML Kings as Kyle Berry jumps on out to the spot bunker. That's just a real rough spot to be in as the only body this way.
Yeah, it really is. It kind of takes your options away from you, too. You can't look the other way. It's hard to fill out of there from this side of the bunker. I like the release to the wing much better. Ryan Greenspan now into the 50 snake for Dynasty. 3-on-4 advantage here for Dynasty. Dynasty got Chris Shear and Drio 3, trying to get to Drio 4.
Ooh, big fill from Kyle Berry, and he makes it in clean, so Dynasty not keeping that zone controlled and allows Kyle Berry to get out wide.
And that's a big mistake that I saw a lot of teams yesterday making is no zone control. Their zones are so tight on the front guy that...
Rich Greenspan now past the 50 here in the snake, trying to put the pinch on that D side, and Kyle Berry gets taken out. And that's going to really help Greenspan out because now he's going to be able to... Ooh, Greenspan able to dodge a stream here, but he's got a little bit more room on the sideline. Navarro's going to try to do damage control and come up and get a shot on Greenspan. Greenspan gets some help with Blake Yarber, pushing out wide behind him as the D side starts along.
Oh, Ryan gets caught in the head by Navarro. Again, repositioned to that snake.
Yeah, but Navarro was so focused on Greenspan, Rich, that he ended up getting shot in the back from that D side. So Dynasty with the full court press right now as Blake takes over from Greenspan, and it's going to be a real solid, pretty quick point. Well executed here from San Diego Dynasty.
A little different pace in that point than the previous point.
Yeah, Dynasty pushing the issue a little bit. It started 4-on-4, right?
Yeah, both teams shooting a guy off the break. Then Dynasty getting another quick kill. But ML Kings having nobody snake side, nobody looking to go snake side.
Yeah, once Woodley got shot, that really opened things up a little bit. And there was also just the intention, right, too. So 4-on-4, very similar positions, but Dynasty's intention was to play a little bit more aggressive and move up the field. It's the same thing that happened with Impact and Damage. Damage was going to play defense. Impact was going to play offense. And if you play defense, I'm sure everyone knows what I'm going to say next. You got to make your shots.
You got to make your shots, Matt.
So there's Woodley in that really tough spot bunker. And then there's Navarro getting the drop in on Greenspan, but didn't really matter, though, because that D side had been blown open. So Navarro got shot in the back, catches a couple extra bonus balls as well, too.
I think that was actually Blake in the snake. Sniping him.
Yeah, it was Blake behind Greenspan, but Shear had completely blown open that D side. He was at the 50-yard line and wrapped around, too.
Nice. See if Tampa Bay damage changes anything up. Nope, they run and shoot to the snake. 5 alive for both squads. Oh, they lose their first attacker snake side, Matty.
Big kill on Damage here for Impact. Impact keeping 5 bodies alive. They got that 1-point advantage, and now they're up a body. 5-on-4.
And I think we know what Impact likes to do when they're up by a point. Attack, attack, attack. That was sarcasm.
By that he means get to some good spots and cross it up.
Yeah, they need to go to Jason. JC needs to go one more bunker into that snake one, and they need to get someone over to that Drio side. But once they get there, man, they're going to be tough to dig out. Especially for Damage, because Damage is going to try to dig them out from the back row, unlike most teams will try to go to the 50-yard line and dig them out. Again, Damage down 1 body here, putting him in a tough spot, being down a body and down a point here in the second point of the match.
Yeah, it's a test for Damage, and they've passed all the tests, a lot of them, past year or so, to become one of the best teams in the world and get their first win in a long time. Again, Impact with 2 wins in a row last year in events 4 and 5. And they're doing what they need to do. They shot a body, they got the lead, they played aggressive early, and now just trying to protect this lead. So it's going to be up to Damage to push into these guns, and we're under 5 minutes to go. 4 minutes and 44 seconds left in regulation time.
So just based on results, it's easy to say that Dynasty is the best team in the world. Impact makes a pretty good argument for being the second best team in the world, right?
Well, this is a what have you done for me lately sport. So based on the last 2 events with World Cup and the first one with Damage taking second, you got to say they're the second best team.
Damage is the second best. Does that make Impact the third best team in the world?
I would, yeah. I mean, that would be a pretty. You'd have some arguments, solid arguments for that. But again, that's why we play in tournaments, right?
Yep,
so
yeah.
it changes all the time.
That, yeah.
You know, some years it's
fight, right?
Some years it's Impact, some years it's Heat. Recently, it's been for the past 2.5 years, it's been Dynasty, and then Damage has been threatening. So we got a lot more paintball to play in 2023. We're only at event number 2. Just 5 big ones. So into the snake. Damage pushing the issue. Rainey stands it. Get into the snake. And they do have a body in D1, so the bulk of their forces is here snake side.
Yep.
Impact's gonna glide into D1, try to spread the field out a little bit here.
Good repositioning for Impact. Take that inside snake wing, snake one, snake insert.
Ooh, pod
Dorito one, back center. That was a high throw.
Hey, got a soft landing off the top of that Dorito, though, so it looks like Dalton might already be out of paint.
I was going to say, that's real early to be out of paint.
He was requesting a pod. I don't think it broke open. I think it's about 2 feet off of that bunker. He's going to have to try to grab it.
Look at him. He's looking for it.
Thinking about it.
Can I wrap hard enough to go get that pod?
Yeah, Dalton's there center of screen. He's wrapping around. He's thinking about trying to get that pod. And he's going to get it and stay alive. Nice job, Dalton. Again, Dalton playing with some sort of injury to his elbow.
Impact 3 players, snake side. I love this for Impact with JC. I can't see who's inside him, but I believe it's Nick Laval behind him. But those 3 guys right there talking to each other, controlling this side of the field. They've got 1 damaged player in front of them and another one in the wing behind him, but that's 2 on 3, so Impact has a big advantage on the snake side, Matt.
Yeah, they definitely do. 3 bodies this way. Well, it's 3 versus 3 over here on the snake side.
That's right, sorry.
It's 3 versus 3 on the snake side. It's that extra body is in the back center here for Impact. And
again, though, that's kind of out of play, right? Because there's 3 players over here for damage, attacking snake side, right? There's 1 guy on the Dorito side, and they've got the back center and the snake 1 and the snake 3 all gunned up on that D side, right? So they've got 3 guys on the 1 guy on the D side, but that 1 guy on the D side, he's playing on an island, right? He's not looking to go anywhere. If he dies, this point is over. So again and again, we've seen these top teams matching up and guys in the team zoning up against the guys who really aren't going anywhere. So they're just kind of shooting their guns to shoot their guns.
Coming up on time, 2 minutes left to go here in this wild card match between Edmonton Impact and Tampa Bay Damage.
Left in this match.
So this is the point. This is going to be the point here. If Impact can score this point, they have a 1-body advantage. They're probably going to be knocking Tampa Bay out early. And if Tampa Bay can tie it up, well, then we got a game. But Tampa Bay is going to have to get the wheels of offense turning here pretty quick. And they've been trying. I mean, they're at the 50-yard line with Rainey Stanzik. And they are going to get the kill cross-field on Dalton Vanderbilt. So that's a huge kill right now to even things up, and then they're going to launch. Let's see if it's a clean trade or we're going to see a penalty. I don't know if he got a shot in on JC's clean. Nope. That's huge for Edmonton Impact.
Yep, 4 on 3 advantage for Impact. We've been talking all weekend about how fast this field plays, and now we get here on Sunday and it's starting to slow down a little, Matt.
Yeah, so 3 on 4 right now in favor of Edmonton Impact, down to 1 minute and 10. Who is going to try to be the hero here for Tampa Bay? They get Chris Horn out wide. Man, it would be if Horn could find a way to do it. Oh, they get a shot in on JC. Huge. Now it's a 3 on 3.
Wow.
Damage has a chance here, Rich, but we're under a minute to go.
I was just going to do my classic Rich Telfer and say there's no way that Damage can win this with Impact out there on a 4 on 3.
Keith Brown's going to push up.
Let's go,
Horn is all the way in the back bunker on the D side, and he has 46 seconds to find a way to hit that buzzer. He has to push, so sure enough, he's going to go right. I know he's an aggressive guy. There's no way he's going to be back there when the time expires. Oh, and they get this shot in on Laval.
Keith Brown's making it happen.
Yeah, Keith Brown. Big move from Keith Brown. And then here comes Horn. They just have 2 bodies to work out. It's a 1-body advantage right now for Tampa Bay. And 26 seconds left to go. Here comes Keith Brown. He just needs a head check. Head check left, Keith. And then he's going to get the shot in on Darula.
Overtime.
Darula totally focused on the snake side. Keith Brown stepping up right now for Tampa Bay Damage to tie this game up with 12 seconds left, which means that we will see an overtime point here in this wild card round already.
He was trying to get Jacobs to come and hit the buzzer because he thought he might have some spray on him. Jacobs like, nah, I'm good.
He's like, I got a lot of spray on me too, bro. Sorry.
They're shooting me too, dog.
Check yourself. Uh-oh, they're checking out Keith Brown right now. He does have something on his forearm. He's going to ask for somebody to come and check.
That's why he was trying to get that Jacob over there to wipe him. I mean, to hang it for him.
This is the tournament. Tournament's on the line right now on this call. This is the call. If this call doesn't go Damage's way, then Impact will be knocking out Damage and moving on to play Infamous. Infamous already in the quarterfinals. Yeah, maybe if we get a close-up on the hit. Looks like the referee's a little in the way, so we can't see. They're going to wipe him off. Is it rub? Is it a hit? We don't know. There it is right there on his arm. I do not see the thumbs up from the referee yet. It looks like, okay, I'm getting the signal that it's rubbed. Thumbs up from the ref. Oh, huge boost of confidence right now for Tampa Bay. It's on the edge of my seat for a second here, Rich. Let's get a look at this replay. So there's Rainey Stanzik. He pops the top. He looks for it, comes through. And it looked like maybe it came off the bunker. You see all that spray there on JC. And then, but JC catches one inside, and then you see Laval still alive behind him. And then here comes the move from Keith Brown. He's focusing D side. Derula is completely focused on that snake side. And then Keith Brown head checks that way, gets that free kill, and then runs through to get the last one. And then he's asking for Jake to come over, and then there it is right there. I mean, obviously it looks big, right? That's a lot of paint. But the way that it was kind of clumping on that, it did look a little like rub. You know, it's kind of tough to tell from this position.
You know, I'm glad we don't have to make that call.
Not my job.
And it's a much better story to have another point. So 5-on-5, ML Kings get a good break.
Way more time left in this one here, Rich.
Ryan Greenspan again walking early. He's a little struggling when he spreads out on the snake side.
Well, the one issue that one of the reasons that Dynasty's in the wild card round is because they, you know, a lot of teams were sweet spotting out their snake side. They were dropping a lot of bodies snake side early, whether it was Archie or Ryan. You know, that was kind of where their problems were. But that's this field, right? I mean, that's a lot of the teams that were. Dynasty didn't really struggle in the prelims. They won 3 games. It's tough to go 3-1 and end up in the wild card round.
It's almost like they had a really tough division or bracket.
Yeah, Dynasty emerging from one of the brackets of death.
And now Dynasty is locked into those control positions. The spot can, Snake 1, center tower, Dorito corner. Everybody's crossing it up. It's going to be very challenging for the ML Kings to push through this cross, but that's exactly what they have to do. They have to move up the snake, move the Doritos, eventually get to the 50, and press just like Damage showed us the last point.
Yeah, 1 body advantage right now for the ML Kings. They have a body out in D2 and snake insert, so the field is spread for them. Kyle Berry's going to go over to help his player out into D2. And then they have the tower and the wedge in the middle of the field. So good cross-field spread for them. Dynasty also has the field spread. They have Sheer in the back corner, Bunker on the D side. He's looking to move up. He wants to get inside. Bunker's moving around a little bit.
I think he'd like to get that first Dorito.
And then they also have Archie Montemayor over here at the insert Bunker snake side. So field is spread, good angles for Dynasty, but not much forward progression.
Is that Archie or Mikey?
Oh, it's Mikey. Sorry.
That's okay. Teamwork, bro.
Yeah, Mikey
Marcelo
Arena.
backing him up. And again, Marcelo likes that can much more than he likes going to that wing. He likes to stay back in that can. Him, Rainey, and Tyler are playing that a little bit differently than everybody else. And you can definitely hear those guns going. We haven't got to that point in the match where everyone's reaching for clips and like, oh man, I don't have much paint left.
Yeah, everyone's got enough paint to be blasting out there.
So for you, is it 2 pods or 1 pod when you started to go on conservation mode?
I hated running out of paint. I wouldn't say I never ran out of paint, but
I never shot out my paint.
Yeah, I almost want to say, yeah, I'd say 1, but 2 is when I started to get a little.
I was gonna say, I always told myself when there was 2 pods left, I'm going on conservation, that I'd mow through that first pod and be like, okay, really slow on this last pod. Rich.
I'm not thinking about it too much until I get to about 2 pods.
Yeah.
Once I get to 2 pods, I'm gonna start really managing my streams out there and what I'm picking and choosing and shooting at.
Listen, it's really important for you guys to go kill people now because I have no paint left. Great communication here, calling the spots, calling the zones, trying to figure out this puzzle. I think if there's one person in a vulnerable position here, it's Marcelo Margot. If they can put pressure on him from the Dorito side and the snake side at the same time, it makes it very hard to live in that can. If they can kill Marcelo, then they can isolate, come up this snake, and run down Mikey Arena.
And a move from the ML Kings to get up to the 50-yard line, Brick. So they have 2 bodies at the 51 in the snake, and that's kind of been the go-to, right? Get a body in that 50 snake, body at that 50 Brick. D-side moves up after that. Kappas is still out in D2, and then they're going to let Mikey Urena get into the snake here for San Diego Dynasty. So Mikey in the snake 1. Dynasty down a body. It's still 5-on-4. 9 minutes left to go here.
1-point game.
And again, the ML Kings are on your right. Dynasty's on your left. You're always going to know based on the scoreboard. Scoreboard will tell you what team is on what side. Teams switch sides when points are won. They will stay on the side if there's a no point. Kyle Berry getting into the Doritos now to help maybe get Mingo going up on that side.
The communication on the field died down a little bit. The gunfire's also down a little bit as Mikey Arena calls Cross America. I think he's calling that center Brick.
Yeah, the guns have definitely died down now, but the communication continues.
And you know, the beginning of the points, everyone's shooting the gun nonstop, right? And then as the point starts to slow down, you've got to start being more conservative with your paint, shooting a little bit less, talking a little bit more. And then once you've talked and kind of figured everything out, if nothing's changed, it just kind of gets that dull. I can't really shoot right now. I don't really have anything to say. I'm waiting for somebody else to do something for me to respond to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shadows are definitely something to deal with out there. If you're close to the other guy, you can see his shadow. You can see what he's doing.
Yeah, you can see a little tip of Mikey's shadow because he's so tucked in, whereas you can see a little bit more 88 shadow because he's a little bit higher up. But yeah, playing, then you can see, look at Marcelo's shadow, right?
Yeah.
Marcelo's a little farther away. They're not going to be able to play shadow from that position. But playing the shadows when the sun is low in the sky, either in the morning or the afternoon, is absolutely part of paintball.
So this is probably very similar to what we're going to be seeing today. And this is exactly what we talked about on Friday, and we call this the island drill, right? Where you get a couple guys on one tape, you get a couple guys on the other tape, and you figure out where the body advantage is, and you try to slow down where they're at a disadvantage or at an advantage and push through the other side.
Yeah, so no guns being shot at all right now. Everyone's just talking. Okay, now everyone, or a couple people launched into a bit of a gunfight, trying to control zones. Again, Dynasty with Urena in Snake 1, and Marcelo protecting him.
Yeah, and all Dynasty's doing right now, Maddie, is just trying to stay alive long enough for the ML Kings to make a mistake, right?
Yeah.
All they got to do is make a mistake, make another mistake, and the Dynasty feels like the longer they play, the more pressure they put on them, the more likely it is that ML Kings will make that mistake, and then Dynasty will capitalize on their mistake, not on Dynasty having to go win the point themselves.
Yeah, the ask there to yourself is essentially, okay, well, I'm hedging my bet that I'm a better gunfighter than you, and then our team is we're used to being here. Yeah. ML Kings, they've made some Sundays, but they don't make it out of the first round typically. So yeah, Dynasty has a lot of experience in this, and prove to us that you can get it done. That's how it works out here.
Well, and Dynasty's confident that they're going to force you to make a mistake before you force them to make a mistake.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's what's happening here. The ML Kings have taken ground, but now they're kind of stuck. They're trying to find a way to break through this cross, and Dynasty's been hanging in there tough. Now, you throw Urena in there to Snake 1, he's kind of the bait. It's like, all right, well, he's in Snake 1, but you've noticed that he has not moved to Snake 2. And now they're going to, it looks like Dynasty going to be moving up, and they get the kill on the D side. Okay. So there's the mistake, right?
Yep.
Kyle Berry getting shot out of that. I couldn't see if he got shot at a spot or moving up, but regardless, he did get shot, and now it's 4-on-4, and a little bit more breathing room here for Dynasty. Going to be a little bit easier with that one less gun out there.
Yeah, I like Yosh. He gets that kill on the D side and then immediately moves to that wing to help Mikey. So Mikey's not a body down over here.
Yeah,
that allows Marcel to switch and look D side.
Yeah, for Dynasty, if you were hoping for their chances to win this game, it's really good that Yosh got into that wedge, because a little bit easier for him to protect Mikey than it is for Marcelo. Marcelo actually was up here. He did a set with us yesterday, and he was talking about how crucial that wedge can be.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm pissed because I wanted to hear what he had to say because he watched the New York match, and I was so tired last night I didn't get to watch it.
He kind of said the same. You would have watched it and been like, yeah, I was saying the same thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so
I was like, I really want to watch that. I told the guys, hey, make sure you watch it, but I was tired.
He was talking about how difficult that wedge is to play. It's an unconventional bunker shape, so hard. Obviously, for Dynasty, you put Yosh Rao in there. He's really good in those unconventional spots. But how potent it is to help control and put pressure on your opponents on the Snake side. Yosh has now actually shifted his gun, so Marcelo, they're going to go back and forth. Marcelo watching over Mikey right now. The push has to come. ML Kings still have some time to work with here, though, with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Kappas is now on an island over there on the D side, so he has to be very careful. If Mingo dies, this point's probably going to be over because he's the only body on that side for the ML Kings, and that's going to allow Sheer to jump up and fly down that side and turn the angles.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, based on the fast points that we're having here and the big scores, I think we're going to be having no problem staying on schedule today, Matt.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be keeping on schedule.
Right on schedule.
Waiting in the wings, New York Extreme is going to be taking on Houston Heat, and San Diego Aftermath played outstanding, undefeated in the prelims. They're going to be taking on San Antonio X Factor. Yeah, Aftermath beat Impact in the prelims.
Aftermath definitely looking like the most improved team from last event, at least to me. And when you make a big jump like that, what's important, Matt? When you go out and you play a certain level for a certain amount of time, then you make a jump from that level to the next level, what's the really important thing to do, Matt?
To feel confident in your abilities, and you're there for a reason. If you go undefeated in the prelims and beat Impact, as we see Mingo make a move up on that D side, so he's trying to make something happen here with 3 minutes left to go. But yeah, if you go undefeated and you get to this next level, like yes, it's Sunday, the pressure is different, but how do you handle that pressure? Needing to stay confident.
Yeah, I think
but not get too cocky.
I think it's also really important to focus on what the differences were, right? Like, if you had done everything the same, you probably would have the same result. So clearly you've done something different. What are those different things that you've done?
Oh, death here out of the snake for the ML Kings. And
that hurts. That's the match, probably. Great communication there from Dynasty, coming right through the mat, right through the mics.
So even though they've lost a couple bodies here on this high body situation that they initially had, the situation's still the same. Whoever, if you're alive right now for the ML Kings, you still have to find a way to attack into Dynasty's guns.
3 on 5 instead of 5 on 4.
Yeah, it's making it a lot harder.
Just getting harder and harder the longer you take. And you know, I was talking to Jason this morning, and this is you can play this field very defensively, but when you want to go win a point, you have to play offensively, right? And you can't just sit back there if you're a point down and hope the other team runs into your guns. So you have to have good offense and good defense to win on a field like this. And the balance between a team like that is very, very challenging.
So this is going to be the deciding point.
I feel like that first point was probably the deciding point.
Well, it's almost like every point's going to be a deciding point.
Yeah, when you have a 1 or 2 point match, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're already, so it looks like the ML Kings are going to concede it. I was just thinking, man, they either have to let somebody on ML Kings, when you get into the situation you're a coach, okay, you had a one body advantage, right? And you had ground, and you have some time. I mean, they burnt, 7 minutes off the clock in that point. But when you have that advantage, okay, my guys are doing what they need to do if you're Charlie Givens, but then you lose Kyle Berry, lose other body over here on the snake side. Okay, now we're at a one body deficit. Okay, well, the situation's still the same, but if my guys are just hiding in their spots trying to figure it out or being forced, and I'm not saying hiding intentionally,
they were hiding,
but being forced to not be able to do anything, then you got to concede, because now, okay, yeah, you concede that second point, but at least they have a little bit of time to work with to try to, at least they have a chance. So that was the correct play call. Probably could have done it a little earlier.
Yeah, once they lost that third body, or fourth body. Here we go. Axel got in for Impact. Going up the middle, not snake side. A little bit of a different call for him. Oh, Impact pockets up.
Yeah, so just burning that last few seconds off before we get into overtime here. Give a little bit of an extra break for Damage and Impact to discuss what strategy and tactics they're going to employ in the overtime period, but not much of a break at all for Dynasty.
No, that's a fast point.
Yeah, so the issue at stake was, and at the end of that, not this point, but the point before, was whether or not Keith was hit. Was it rub? You know, what was it? There's a good look of it. Yeah, and it's huge, right? But where did it come from? Well, it came from right there. That's where it happened. So that's the replay of the rub from Keith Brown. He staying close on that bunker. There's all that paint broken on that bunker, and that's where he got the rub, comes through, gets that last kill on Brandon. Now, Brandon probably popped up and saw that massive glob of paint. He's looking right at it thinking,
interesting.
That looks like it might be a hit, Keith, but it wasn't. There was the rub.
Doesn't matter how much paint you have on you unless the referee says it's a hit.
Apparently, they was getting some word from Joe Replay guy that they were looking for a pack hit on Keith. I guess Impact said he was hit on his pack, They couldn't find that.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. But yeah, they couldn't find that, but we did find where the rub came from. So now 2-point lead here for Dynasty. Barely any time for ML Kings to work with. They didn't have much time to formulate an offensive plan either, so hopefully they've talked about something like this in the meetings. 1:45 left to go here, Rich.
Something crazy just happened with the Woodley. He broke out to the spot can and went back to the back center, picked something up off the ground. I don't know if it was his barrel or what. But a little bit of a break in the plan there. ML Kings take Snake 3 and Dorito 3 on the break mat. 5-on-5 breakout for both teams.
Yeah, ML Kings don't have any more time to mess around. They got to run up this field, flood bodies forward, no other choice. And they have been doing that so far. They're in good spots. They're not letting Dynasty put them in, just rolling guns. But
nice to see ML Kings back on a Sunday, right?
Yeah, good to see him make a Sunday, especially on the rebuild. They're on, they get a shot in on Greenspan.
That Ryan Greenspan kid is really struggling this weekend, Matt.
But they do get a shot on the Snake, first attacker here in the Snake, as Donaldson's forced to take the walk. And Donaldson goes eyes to the sky in frustration as, with the kill on Greenspan, they still had a chance, but they got to get things going. They need 2 just to tie. This point spread doesn't mean anything right now.
Nope. Archie makes the film to Snake 1 from the Snake insert. Starts to wrap. Woodley over the top. Snake one gets caught. Going across the gap. I don't know if the ref saw that or not. Ooh, he's looking around to see if they knew a ref saw it or not.
Woodley diving into the snake. The referee going to get in there and give him a check. We're only down to 30. Okay. I think this game's over, Rich. 33 seconds left to go.
Woodley's looking at the clock like, man, I got a lot of guns on me.
It's going to take a major right now and then a crazy, miraculous play for ML Kings
and
to try to take down Dynasty.
And then another major the next point. Woodley takes it. Oh, big move on the D side. Does not get through. Does get Blake. Does get two. Does get Chris Shear. Oh, only one left.
Archie and just Marcelo as the safety valve here for San Diego Dynasty, but
now it's a 1-on-1 with Archie and Mingo.
Now they did enough. Dynasty did enough. And that is going to do it. Marcelo. So Dynasty is going to knock out the ML Kings here in the wild card round, and they're going to move on to play the Hurricanes next.
Hey, and you're welcome again at home for this finals match you're watching this morning at no additional cost. You're going to get to watch Damage or Impact go home right here.
Which is a rematch from the finals here last year. Not here, it was in Dallas, but still in Texas. But
close enough, all right, Matt?
But that's just how crazy pro paintball is getting. There's a triumphant San Diego Dynasty as they punch their ticket into the quarterfinals. Again, they will be playing the New Orleans Hurricanes. Let's listen in real quick. Actually, we're going to jump in to this overtime point. We only got 12 seconds to go before the start of this one. Who you got, man? This is, I think Impact's a little bit better on the offense right now.
I can't really say. Tough call either way.
Yeah, so
I'm going to say whoever wins the breakout, though, is going to have a big advantage.
Yeah, it took words right out of my mouth. So on the breakout, as a little bit more field progression for Lackey outside wide, and he makes it clean. 5-on-5 break.
Impact in the pocket. The only player outside the pocket is the snake insert. Oh, Damage dropping the first back center player, Jacob Edwards.
With the 5-on-5 break and how long these points are running, I was thinking, Rich, how crazy would it be if we went to 1-on-1s again? Because that's how this game last year in the finals between these two teams was decided by 1-on-1s.
I think the 1-on-1s, the fact that we do play it occasionally now, we should change the format where it's not the first guy who gets the win, it's the best of 3 or something like that. It's just too anticlimactic when the one guy gets one ball and one guy gets, Really good communication. Again, at the beginning of these points, the guys are running their mouths and running their guns, just trying to shoot as much as they can and try to get as much information out, trying to figure out where all the bodies are, what's going on, where the pressure is, what they can get away with. One body advantage here for Impact. Damage got to figure out how to get down this field, or at least how to stop Impact from getting down the field. Looks like Damage has got the same game plan again with Rainey back in that can. He does not like to go to that wedge. JC and the snake now for Impact.
Yeah, gets into the snake here. Tampa Bay Damage. We're looking at Impact here on your screen. Neither team with a lead to protect. 3:45 to go. A little bit better field position here currently for Jared Lackey for Tampa Bay. And here's Laval trying to help out JC, who's at snake 1. So one position back from where Lackey is.
Yeah, Damage with no aggression over there on the D side at all. Dynasty with no aggression over there as well. Both teams with the Dorito corner looking inside, playing D-ball. Both teams with the center tower shutting down the D side. Both teams dedicated with 2 guns on the snake side. The only difference is that Impact does have 1 player left in the back center, but he's just doubling up the gap with the tower in front of him, so he's kind of out of play in this position.
Talking it up back and forth. No one really close to Lackey to help. And then here goes Rainey Stanzik. He's going to get in. Nice timing move. Nice time move back for Rainey Stanzik.
Well, now that the fact that Damage is down a player here, it might be good for them to just lock this up and try to take this to overtime, right? Impact with a one body advantage.
Take it to the 1-on-1.
Sorry, take it to the 1-on-1. So Impact with a 1 body advantage. They want to try to go win this point, not go to the 1-on-1s.
Yeah, but Impact, they have 2:45 to work with, but they're kind of tucking their spots and shooting lanes right now. Yeah. JC's probing, and he's in a potential attacking position, but he does have 3 bodies in front of him now. Whereas on the D side, they're still chilling in D1. Laval's going to get in here into the insert bunker right behind JC. He's got Derula right beside him, and I believe that's Brandon Cornell in the back center bunker. So look for Brandon Cornell to probably try to get out and help, I believe, Dalton in D1 get up the field.
Well, now that the tower's released into the wing, he's solely responsible for locking down that D side. So wherever Brandon goes, he wants to go to a spot where he can lock it down. He does not, though.
Well, in that back bunker, right, unless there's players way up the field, you don't have a ton of great shots from that back position. So, with the extra body here, Brandon has now made a couple moves because he needs to put himself in a position to be in the game, and he's done that perfectly. So a couple nice secondary moves out wide here for Brandon Cornell.
JC and the 50 snake for Impact.
There's Brandon. He's looking for it. See, he's been doing this for the past 30 seconds. He knows The time's starting to get down. He knows they have a one-body advantage, and he's just trying to be safe but proactive.
Yeah, and Damage is just waiting for bodies to come. They're just going to zone this up and try to take it to a one-on-one and have Jacob go and win a tournament for him.
But the fact that, again, I think that's Dalton in there in D1. He's been tucked in. But the fact that both Brandon and Dalton haven't been able to get past D1 yet, with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go, just that's how much pressure Damage is doing putting on those lanes. There's big lanes over there on the D side.
Oh, for sure. Here it comes. 50 to the 50. So Impact 2 players in the 50 now. 50 Snake, 50 Brick.
Down to a minute. Are we going to see one-on-ones again? Looks like Darul's going to get shot by Lackey. Beautiful job by Jared. Here to tie things up on the body count as we hit the minute mark.
JC almost just got shot by the wing, Matt.
Tense moments between two legends in this game.
My palms are sweaty, Matty. My palms are sweaty.
I'm literally on the edge of my seat. Like, that's not metaphorical.
Well, it's a very small chair. That's not your fault. Don't feel bad about that. It's not
I'm getting a lot bigger these days. Anyway, 45 seconds.
Oh, JC over the top,
JC
Matt.
wraps
Here he
around.
goes.
Here goes. JC's going to launch. He's going to stitch up Lackey, and then he's going to get shot on the inside. Rainey was in there with him, though.
Came back and got Keith Brown, though. He got Keith Brown, too, Matt.
Yeah, but Dalton's still alive, and Laval is still alive. And then here comes the big move on the D side as Chris Horn launches. He's begging for a penalty. Don't see any flags in the air. 27 seconds left to go. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Rainey going to try to save the day here.
He doesn't know the pass him on the D side, Matt. He did not see the streak on the D side. Dynasty's going to hit the buzzer with Rainey live.
Dalton Vanderbilt all the way down to hit the buzzer, and he's going to wave at Tampa Bay Damage as long as he's clean. Dalton Vanderbilt is going to be, even again, playing with an injury to his arm. It looks like somebody implanted a tennis ball in his elbow, and he still is playing through that pain and was able to get it done. Like you said, slipped up that D side unnoticed because in the chaos, Rainey had to focus on the body in front of him. So with just a couple seconds left to go, Dalton Vanderbilt, you know, coming back onto Edmonton Impact. It took him from San Diego Dynasty, and as he always does, earning his keep out there. Hats off to Dalton Vanderbilt.
JC broke that open by getting those 2 key kills on the Snake side, creating all the chaos, and Dalton just fed on it. Sat over there, didn't do anything for the whole point. The second it was open, flies down the field, hits the buzzer, waves at his buddy. Amazing point there for Impact and JC Dalton.
So Impact is going to punch their ticket into the quarterfinals and dodge a bullet here. It was looking like we were about to go to one-on-ones, but that was not the case because of Justin Cornell, Dalton Vanderbilt, Cornell on the Snake side. Let's listen in real quick.
I told you 10 from them. Okay, but still, I yell it to you, nod, or yell it to Matt. We're all good. We're all good. Who didn't know? No. I just they knew it's good. I don't know. I was hearing them saying it. I don't know that they know. Yeah. So when I yell to you, yell it. We're good.
So that is going to do it here for the wild card set in the professional division. A ton more paintball coming at you. Most important day of the tournament, as always, Sunday, 2023 NXL Lone Star Major. Congratulations to Impact. They're going to be playing Infamous in the quarterfinals. San Diego Dynasty is going to match up with second-year rookie sensations, the New Orleans Hurricanes. But coming up next is going to be New York Extreme taking on Houston Heat. San Diego Aftermath, Next Factor. We'll be back.
Custom jersey is built on a 5-panel design that's all customizable. The jersey features a DWR coating all throughout the jersey, so it is water resistant. It also is stain proof, and it has side mesh venting. The jersey is also very fitted, so it has a compact neck collar, and it also features elastic thumb loops to keep the sleeves in place while you're sliding or running. To start your team design, head over to crbnpaintball.com. Walker here with Carbon Paintball to discuss the Zero goggle system with you guys. We have the Pro version and then the SLD. What you're going to notice first is the color options. The Pro, it is a semi-translucent Airflex bottom. That's the mask region. And then with the Solid series, it is just a solid color. It's opaque. They're both exactly the same durometer. They're both the same softness or squishiness. Other than that, you're actually going to get a clear lens with your Pro goggle. They both come with a case, and another cool feature of the Pro model is a dual silicone strap versus a sublimated strap on the SLD. And last but not least is another cool highlight is the Pro has some orange accents versus the SLD comes with black. For more features and information on sizing and pricing, visit carbonpaintball.com.
For event number 2 on the 2023 tour, the NXL is heading to Texas, where the battle between the best paintball teams in the world is going down in Round Rock, outside of Austin. Last year we saw Tampa Bay Damage rise again and break their decade-long win drought to make history with the win over Edmonton Impact in a triple one-on-one overtime. Can Damage summon the spirit and skill needed for 2 in a row, or will a new squad hoist the Texas trophy? Tune in to gosports.com, April 28th through the 30th, for another epic Lone Star State showdown.
What's up, everybody? This is Mr. H, and I got some news for you. The HK Army Lone Star Open. We got a special surprise for you. HK Army bandana and our event shirt will only be available online during the event, and we'll have it for you guys at the booth. Super limited supplies, guys. And also, don't forget, till the end of the month, April 30th, we have 20% off for the 420 sale, guys. We'll see you at the event. This is Mr. H signing out. Yeehaw!
Hey everyone, this is Walker with Carbon Paintball, here to show you guys our SC and our CC pant. You're probably already familiar with the SC pant. We've had that for a few years now. It's a 3-layer Gore-Tex pant. If you're looking for something a little bit lighter, a little bit more of that newer style, that jogger cut, that would be our CC pant. Just came out here. It has the drawstring waist. It's got a little bit of taping in it. It is water resistant throughout, and it's got a reinforced knee region. The CC pant features a tapered leg similar to a jogger cut, but it's going to give you a little bit more room than the average pant. The pant's available in sizes small all the way to XXL and is available at crbnpaintball.com.
We got a ton of great announcements, a huge show, and all the news and all the stuff that's going on. Possibly, allegedly. We are ripping right now. There's some sick giveaways. Amazing, everybody.
Jumping back into the battles here on Sunday, 2023 NXL Lone Star Major in Round Rock, Texas, a little outside of Austin. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Rich Telford. What an amazing